Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Before we get started, remember there is Telegram in the description, Instagram in the description where you can message me to apply for Money Dojo, which is a private network that, just message me, I'll answer any questions you've got about it. Now, on to the video. Today I want to talk about how no one actually has a superpower in whatever it may be. No one is that perfect human. No one's got that power to do that thing better than you have. Some people may have a little bit better genetics that maybe work for them better in that situation, in that sport. But when it comes down to it, you have the ability to go and accomplish whatever it is you choose to do. You've just got to put in the effort. So if you want to be a professional athlete, maybe look at your body shape, look at the length of your legs, the length of your arms. What sport does that work for best? And then go and choose that. The sport that you were most built for, the one you were most gifted for, go and work with that. But if you want to go into the business world, if you want to go and be successful and have a really, really good, well-paying job, then there are tons of other things you can do to just, all you've got to do basically is work harder and realize that no one has that superpower which makes it easy for them to do that job. If you ask any successful person, they're not gonna, if you ask them how they got to that position, how they got to be successful, how they went and did so well within their job, they're not going to say that they did it all by accident. One day it just appeared on their lap. Suddenly they were just successful, fit and healthy. That's not how it worked. I guarantee, and probably the majority of these cases, unless they've got their money through inheritance and through family, if they're a self-made person, self-made success, then they're going to tell you these things. They're going to tell you that they worked hard, they made mistakes, and but the important thing is that they learned from those mistakes how to get better. They learn how to improve themselves and advance their skill set to the degree that when that situation next came up, they did it easily, or to the degree that when there was a problem next time, they knew how to deal with it. When they failed the next time, they knew to not be negative about it, but in fact take it as a blessing. There are so many things that people complain about which you shouldn't be complaining about, because you could sit there and say, oh, I don't like the fact that not everyone is supporting me. There's always going to be at least one person who's against what it is you want to do, okay? Always, no matter what it is you do. You can't make everyone happy. There'll always be someone. Next is a lot of people, they complain that they haven't got the time. And I know that everyone has got time to do a few extra things in the day. I guarantee that you have an hour to work out, half an hour, 45 minutes to work out, and then you've got another half an hour, 45 minutes to sit there and learn a new skill, read a book, whatever you want to spend that 45 minutes on. If you did everything faster, if you woke up a little bit earlier, then went and did your workout, but you did it a bit faster, you did a little bit less volume but higher intensity, you ate your meals quicker, you got to work faster, you did your work at work quicker, you got back from work faster, you ate your next meal quicker, then you've got more time at the end of the day. You don't sit around and you don't waste that time watching TV shows, watching movies. You spend it capitalizing and growing yourself, investing that time into yourself, into your skill set, by learning how to do like a high value skill, which could be sales, it could be video editing, it could be videography, whatever you want to do. There are so many things out there that you can sit down and learn to do because there's so much value attached to them. And you've got to make sure that whatever it is you want to do, that there is growth involved in that position. There is a path for you that you can take to success. It doesn't just stop at a few grand a month. You can do it to 100 grand, $1 million a month. You can scale it. It's a scalable business model. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to learn. Now also, so once you've develop that skill set, and once you've realized that you're always going to upset people, and there's always going to be people that are against your mission, what it is you want to do, then you start to realize that all the successful people that you admire, all the successful people that you have put on a pedestal, they were once in your position as well. They probably once had that seedling of doubt in their mind saying, why should I do this? Why should I start? Is it going to be worth it? What's everyone going to say? And it's very true that a lot of successful people had that, but they made the right decision of continuing, of pushing through, of working to the point where they could say that they were successful and they made the right decision. So if you just look at whoever it is that's successful now that you look up to, be it an athlete, be it a millionaire or a billionaire, there was one point when they were not successful. There was one point when they did not have anything, or when they were at their starting point, and they must have had weaknesses, faults, things that set them back. And stop putting these people on a pedestal. Yes, it's amazing to have role models and people you look up to, people you aspire to be like. Like you can take Tate, for example. He's a great role model. He's got tons of people following him. He's got a lot that people want to be like him. You've got tons of other successful people. You've got David Goggins, who's got an amazing mindset. You've got tons of athletes, tons of millionaires. You've got Jordan Peterson. You've got Joe Rogan. There are so many people you can look at and think, I want to be like that person. But the truth is, do you want to work as hard as them? Do you want to reach the standards that they put on themselves? Do you want to reach the levels that they had to work themselves to? Do you have that in you to continue working when you're tired? To continue working day in, day in, day in, day in, day in, just continually, day after day, while you're tired, while you're worn out, with doubt, with feelings of you're not going to make it, it's not worth it, just constant feelings of doubt, but you keep pushing. Have you got that strength in you to not give up, to continually start working? Because that's what you're going to need, because there will be a time when you look at yourself and you think, is it all worth it? Am I on the right path? Am I really doing this? But if you keep working, you keep pushing through that, then at the end you can look back and say, I did it. I pushed myself and I realised what I was capable of. You need to stop making excuses to the point where you just stop working. You contribute all of your energy towards finding that next excuse, to finding the excuse to not do that one thing, to finding the excuse to stop you from having to work out, to stop you from having to eat healthy, to stop you from having to read that book, to stop you from having to go to bed at the right time, to stop you from waking up early. You keep making the excuses. And it's ridiculous, because just look at it like this. If you go to bed late, okay, so what? Still wake up early. That's your fault. You're making up for going to bed late. You're making up for losing those few hours of sleep by getting up even earlier. If you cheated on your diet yesterday, you're going to be even stricter on it today, and you're going to be stricter on it tomorrow as well. If you didn't read that book yesterday, you're going to read the amount you meant to read yesterday. You're going to read that today, as well as what you had to read today. Whatever it is, you can pass it on to the next day if you didn't do it. So what I like to do is I like to plan out on my whiteboard here. I like to plan out what I have for the next day, what I've got to do, what my challenges are, what every second of my day is structured out so that I cannot waste a second, and I stick to that schedule. I stick to it. And then somebody like, oh, well, what if you don't have your schedule? What are you going to do? That's fine. I can work without a schedule. I can keep myself focused and on task. But this just helps me, because I can sit here, I can work, and then come an hour and a half, I can be like, oh, okay, it's this time now. I need to go and do something else. I need to go and do my exercise, or I need to go and start writing this or doing this. And I want all of my viewers, I want all of you to understand that you need to stop making excuses. excuses is probably one of the only things that's in your way from you becoming your successful self. If you cut out all excuses and you actually just get on with the work and you get it done, then you're going to achieve your goals. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of how much work are you willing to do? How many hours are you willing to put into that skill to develop it? How much time and effort are you going to devote to that part of your life? Are you going to fully immerse yourself in what it is you want to learn? Are you going to be reading books about it, watching shows, listening to podcasts on it, and constantly trying to implement new ways into what you're doing? Because that's what you have to do. If you truly want to succeed, you have to immerse yourself in it and be constantly looking for new angles, new ways to succeed, and new ways you can strengthen your game, so to say. Just keep working, keep pushing yourself, and get rid of the excuses. Because no one has the superpower. No one has that gift. It's all hard work. It's all just a proof that they have sat there, they have worked harder, and they have worked harder for longer. They have the experience because they sat there, maybe at the desk, or they sat there, they worked, they trained hard day in, day out. Now, can you do the same to reach that position? That's what I want to see. See you in the next video.